Hey, what's up? Jenny Jones here. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Today is going to be really nice. Had some time this morning, work on some other different projects. And I promise you, we did not want to go live on 4th of July, but we're trying to link up the times. And this appeared to be the best time to put this together. So, mic check real quick. C store out there, Alpha Blue. Let me know how everything is going. Um, so our guest, I'm going to bring him on. I want him to give you guys a 40,000 foot view of who they are and what they're going to be doing. I'm excited about this project. Greta is fire. Um, but I, I told him to hold back on some of the super juicy secrets. We're gonna see who's going to take this journey with us, right? You guys know I look for tools that have intrinsic value. I think this is one of those tools. Um, but I'm gonna let you guys figure it out for yourself. All right, so sounds good. All right, so cool. All right, so give us a thumbs up. Let us know if he's dropping juice. He's dropping dimes. You guys let him know in the chat. Drop your questions in there. I'll pick them up, and we'll go from there. So let me invite to the stage on this 4th of July. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying taking some time off, just relaxing, but tuning in to the Digital Growth Hacks Club. So I really do appreciate that. Let me bring him on without further ado. Let's get our guest of the hour on here. Boom. How you doing, sir?
Hello, hello. How are you? Great
I'm
to be
doing
here.
great. So just so you guys know, right? Jerome was like, "Hey, Jenny, you can come down here to like Frisco, right? Which is probably, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half away." He's like, "You can come down here, we can do it." I said, "Listen, if your business, you guys take off and do what you're supposed to do, I'll bring you on maybe later in one of my other channels and we'll do something live." I really believe that this company is onto something. They're not perfect, right? But we're all trying to figure it out. But I think what they're going to put in front of us, I think this is the new age, and we should be able to get a nice little run out of this. So I'm going to put him in a single shot, and I want him to kind of come in his own way, give us his 60-second elevator speech of what it is about Greta, and we'll go from there. All right, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here, and thanks, Jenny, again. So recently we launched Greta, getting so much love. It is one of the agents of Questera, which is a bigger platform. The goal with Questera is that we want to help you not just vibe code something, but we want to help you vibe launch something and then grow with it to a million users and more, maybe, right? So at the end of the day, we have multiple agents. Greta helps you wipe code something, and then from there we have data analysis agents, email agents, and a lot of that stuff coming in. But we are so excited to see that in the last few days, even like 1 week, 2 weeks, right? In last 2 weeks, Greta has got so much love. I did not anticipate that at all. And thanks to all of you guys. We are working really hard. We worked for last couple of months, very hard to make a lot of these things into reality, and glad to see that we're able to see some good light.
All right, so yeah, no, thank you. So, wait a minute. So, what do you mean you didn't expect this? I mean, so what did I'm just wondering, what did you expect? I mean, when you put something out there, you're like, "Oh, I hope that people like it." But so you tell me, and what I want you to tell me is like my experience when I first, and like I shared with you, we had a pre-briefing. I share with you that I've been trying to get these calculators up on some of my financial sites, and people want to charge me, these programmers. I go to Fiverr and all that. Oh, $2,000 once. I was like, what? For a calculator, right? What are we doing, right? And I never had that opportunity. So I never really revisited it. So my test was, all right, can Greta give me something simple, basic, right? And then can I grow and scale from there? And
Correct.
so I went in there. The first thing that came up is, hey, listen, what do you want to do? I'm like, what do you mean what I want to do? I can do whatever I want to do. It's like, yeah, what do you want what do you want to build? That's kind of really, I'm telling you my experience. It's like, what do you want to build? I was like, a calculator. And I put it in like less than a paragraph. I was like, can you build me a, I was like, can you build me a calculator that helps a person with their budget, helps a person look at their future value calculations with retirement, and oh, by the way, maybe help them get out of debt? Can you do that? And Greta was like, yeah, if that's what you want, let's work on it and start doing it. I was like, oh my goodness, right? So tell so so I think you shared with the people in your single shot, you were like, hey, listen, we want to take you from here, like me, even starting out with the calculators. And I don't, I think I'm a little bit different when I look at tools, right? Because when I go and look at tools, I'm like, how can I add that to my current ecosystem, right? I think people are disappointed when they says, "Hey, I want this tool to save the world," right? I want it to feed
Right.
everybody, solve world hunger, and all that. And I think that's my way I look at it, because if it has intrinsic value, it says, "Ah, let me plug it into already what I got going." So tell
Right.
me, you guys are putting together an end-to-end solution. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, 100%. And thank you so much for asking that. There are two, three questions that you asked, so I'll answer quickly one by one. We did not, and when I said we did not anticipate so much, I think we knew that Greta is in a lot of ways much easier, much simpler, better in its own ways than any other platform out there. It can help you build the initial versions very easily. Um, but like there are users who are buying like 5, 10 tier fours. I don't know. There's just like so much that users are saying. So I'm so humbled by that. Um, the other end to end, like what you're talking about, end to end solution, right? I think I I started coding when I was 10 years old, right? And I always have been building different products. I sold my first website when I was like 13, 14, right? I always had this problem where how quickly I, can spin up things. I was trying to build weekends, days and nights. From there, when I used to launch it, there are so many users that are flying in, but I don't know what they're doing. From there, I was like, I don't know how to engage them. So once I launched an app which got more than 2 million users, but I never sent them even one single email because I was like, this is too complicated, right? I just did not check too much of their data as well. And I was just enjoying whatever, no optimizations. And that's what changed entirely when I worked at LinkedIn. So last 10 years I worked at big tech companies, LinkedIn, Amazon, stuff like that. And at LinkedIn, I was like, wait, LinkedIn is facing exact same challenge that they also don't understand users well, and they're making an internal marketing automation tool to do that. And that's where this end-to-end solution actually came into being. So you, with one of the agents, and you can create your own agents as well, but we'll have some of our template agents like with Greta, you can build something. Once you launch that, you can actually, from the other data analysis agent, you'll be able to see what users are coming. Are they completing onboarding? Are they doing what they want to be able to, what you want them to do? Then let's say you're the other email marketing agent. You'll be like, I want to send all the people who tried this particular feature but have not tried this feature, or I want to send 20% off to people who have visited pricing page multiple times. A lot of that stuff, these agents will be able to do, and you're just sitting on a video call like how we are sitting right now with a bunch of those agents, and that's the future that I see. What I wanna enable with Questera is an agentic future where one person unicorn is like 100 like $1 billion company, right? So you have like a couple million in there. I want to be able to make that a reality and a norm, working with an agentic team. That's
So, and I think you shared that with me the other day. And let me back this up, because I want to make sure that people understand what you said. What he is saying is they want to make Questera, and Questera is Greta is part of the Questera enterprise or something like that. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, you can think of it as Avengers and Canada as one of the Avengers.
Okay, so the Avengers. This guy is funny, man. I like him. We're gonna hang out in person. We're gonna do a live video. We're gonna do a
Yeah,
live.
dinner's on me. Dinner's on me.
Yeah. No, no, seriously. I'm letting you guys know on the record. We're gonna come back to this because they're gonna probably launch something. He's gonna like, Jenny, you got to come down here and see it. And I will be down there. I will come down there. My son works down there. I'm down there often. So what I want people to understand, I want people to get this. Definitely my Anthony Ross is out there, my C stores, right? I want them to understand what he's saying. What he's saying is they want to have this so powerful that a one man, one person, one woman, right? No, Keithida, one woman shop create an entire empire just off the soup, and scale it like one user, two users, 2,000 users, 5,000 users, 10,000. Did you guys get that? Anthony, let me know in the chat. What you guys, that's what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Their goal is to take and here's what you guys need to understand, right? And I'm gonna go on the record to say this, right? All right, listen, I'm gonna go on the record to say this. And it's funny because my Mark Rodriguez is out there and my Cold Crush Media, they'll be like, here go Jenny. What I'm telling you, because we're all into this AI thing, is this is kind of the future, right? If the economy goes away, it's going to go, and a lot of the jobs will be eliminated, right? A lot of the white collar jobs will be eliminated. If everyone or a majority of the people turn into what we call quote unquote independent contractors, right? Are you seeing what I'm saying? You have the ability, you're a first mover. You have the ability to now know and be very familiarized with the software to start creating these full solutions for people. Or you create your own enterprise that is allowing other people to make money off of the things that you're creating. Shabam, you're nodding your head. Are you getting what I'm putting down here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think 100% it makes sense, because I think that is where we are heading. Because imagine right now, with vibe coding and everything, the building, a lot of it is much easier. And you can see in the next few months, it'll become like with the click of a button, right?
Sure.
But the right next step is how you can actually use it in the real world, grow it so that you can start making money. And that's what we all care about, right? And there will be a lot of these enterprises selling to each other, and these enterprises will actually be 1 or 2 or 5 people. That's it.
I got to tell you, right? You have all right. And Anthony, you need to chime in because Anthony, we kind of think alike, right? I started the Thief Hack Pack because of him, right? I bought one of his ideas because I do these hack packs on the show, right? So I'm gonna give him a shout out. He gave me one idea. I says, I like your idea, but I like it better when I put this candy wrapper on it, right? So I give him a little credit because it's called the Anthony. It's called the Anthony Thief Pack, right? So I'm gonna put out this hack. No, I'm gonna literally put out this hack maybe later today or maybe tomorrow, because we have these ideas, so we kind of think alike. So if he could see, if he's listening to you and he's understanding, I'm only singling him out because we think alike. This is going to be humongous, right? Now you just have to pull it off, sir. So why so tell us right now. So give us all right. So right now, so here's what happens. Right now, you can go inside your tool. You can say, hey, I want to create this. Now, my initial challenge, and I'm just let you know, and this may be the initial challenge of pure raw amateur people, to the fact where, hey, I just buy a SaaS and it does everything for me and I do that. This is moving to the next level where if you're trying to scale and become your own enterprise, you're going to have to get your hands dirty a little bit. Is that a fair statement? Meaning that you have to do your GitHubs, you have to learn how to connect it to other maybe using an API and kind of connecting it to get it not overly difficult, because when I put my first solution together, in order to get it on its own and get it on its own URL and all that, I had to do a little digging, but here's the catch. I used the chat in there to help me do it.
Yeah. No, so here's the thing. We are making it super, super easy to be able to help you build that easier and then grow that easier. But let me take you 20 years back, right? Or maybe like 15 years back.
Sure.
When we were first hearing about mobile phones or about websites or about, even the live software and stuff like that.
Sure.
The way that you start is, okay, from the phone, I'll just make a call. I just know that I press this green button, put up a number and call. That's it.
Sure.
Right? Slowly, you start learning more and more, right? And you're like, wow, this phone can do this can do this, this can do that. So with all the AI agents or every AI thing right there, what you can do is it will do 80-90% of the work for you. Now you have a vision in mind.
Sure.
In the future, maybe Greta can also go into your mind and figure out what needs to be done.
Whoa,
but not right now. But not at all right now. Right? So what you have to do is you have to communicate very well that, hey, I want this exact theme. Like in your calculator, let's say if you want to make exact changes, you'll be like, I don't like this part here. Why don't you make it like, different styles of boxes?
Right.
So you have to really communicate that well. And to do that, you have to learn prompting. That's probably the most important thing. And you did really smart. You were doing prompting by, chatting with it or chatting with ChatGPT or something like that. So prompting is a very good exercise that everyone should learn. I would 100% recommend whatever AI tool you're using, right? And then we ideally want that you don't have to get your hands dirty too much, but you will have to get your hands dirty because you have to make sure that if you're selling to enterprise, you do security audits, you do a bunch of encryptions and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff.
So let me explain to you when I say get your hands dirty. Yeah. And I want to make sure I'm clear on this, right? And what you may be thinking is one thing, and what I'm thinking is we've been used to being served by SaaS companies giving us everything and all that. What I mean by getting your hands dirty is if you want to scale, you want to create a company that's producing $1 million a year in revenue and all that, you now have to put on a hat of that's what I mean, because
I see.
You have to know, right? You're going to end to end, right? You got to get your client, you got to make sure that the back end's taken care of. And so what I mean by get your hands dirty is if you really want this, the opportunity is here now. It's never been 100. So evident.
100%. And I couldn't agree with you more. So 2 weeks ago, I actually, like Sam Altman came to our dinner. I had a pic as well. This is the exact same thing. Sam Altman is CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT. He just said this exact same thing, that there has been never a better time to build something and earn money than today.
Wow. So Sam, the big dog Sam said that.
Yeah. If you don't believe me, just believe him,
Well, my whole thing is like, because Sam, all those people down here in the Silicon Valley are all down here in California. My thing is, because I'm a finance guy, right? I always tell people that because I follow the money. I look at things. I'm in the market every single day. People say, as much as you think I'm on here doing hacks in digital media, I'm twice as hard into the into the financial markets. So I see what's happening, right? I look at the economy. I look at the GDP. I'm looking at all these different things. I'm looking at job loss. I'm looking at job growth. I'm looking at interest rates. So I'm looking at these things because that to me tells you the direction of where we're going. We are headed to a direction of a lot of independent contractors. He who has the skill, who's learning, right? And if you haven't came to the AI Juice Lab, which is our new project that we've created, We're teaching the prompting. We're teaching you the power of the prompting, right? We're doing a lot of those different things. You guys need to join us over there. It's the AI Juice Lab. Look us up on YouTube. We're gonna have a full community, all of that, because I'm seeing where things are headed. So did you have something you want to add to that, or I'm going to ask you my next question?
No, that is 100% true. Please join AI Juice Labs, right? Because prompting is something for every AI tool and stuff that you have to learn. And the time is definitely now more than ever. And it is probably, for some places, it's a little late. For some places, it's still very early, but it is now.
Wow. All right. So I wanted to go over this in detail because I think I cannot assume that everybody has seen Greta. So if you want to see this calculator in order, right? So I'm going to give you the URL for the calculator, but I want to explain to you, I built this in Greta, right? Because most of you guys know I have seven revenue streams just on the finance side, right? And I have probably about 23 revenue streams the digital marketing side, right? So my challenge was I wanted people to learn about their savings. I wanted them to understand about their debt, and I wanted them to know about their retirement, all from one calculator. So I typed that in and it gave me this. So let's just kind of look at and I asked for this and it gave this to me. But I want you to see what happens here. So it gave me a savings calculator, it gave me a debt calculator, and it gave me a retirement calculator. I literally just asked me, give me this. This is, we'll give you all three. And that's what it gave me. And they work. My point I wanted to bring this up to you is because do you know how much power I have with this? Because I can use this as a quote unquote lead magnet. If we still want to go to digital marketing 101, I can use this as a lead magnet. I also can put a chat bot here for people to ask questions. And then the way my chat bot is set up, because I'm using it on another tool already, I'm using my chat bot on another tool. But the way my chat bot is designed is it'll answer basic questions for you. But I've prompted the chat bot to always push for an appointment or one-on-one free consult with Jenny. Do you get that? You getting that?
Yeah, you can actually do that with our chatbot as well. And
I can add a chatbot here.
You can.
Or are you talking about your chatbot within Greta? I'm talking about this is on its own landing page, and then I add.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That chatbot that you see on Greta, you can also add it here.
No, really?
Yes.
You got to stop
that is one
doing
of so the next launch that we're going to do, and it will have the CRM, the components, everything that you're talking about, which you can add in your own projects. And now for the chatbot, we have an app as well. So for all chatbot, this is the app, right? Like we have a mobile app for the chatbot.
Whoa.
So you can see, and with one click, from Greta, you'll be able to add the chatbot. You'll be able to see the analytics of the chatbot. You'll be able to do all the things that you're talking about technically, right? But chatbot is just part of our components launch.
All right. So we have T Nicole, right? Because T Nicole gonna let you know how T Nicole feel, right? She's in my community. She's like, hey, listen, what about for complex building? Because I feel limited with the credits eating away simultaneously.
Great question.
That's a good question. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. So I think one of the things right now is that everyone has been able to build complex projects with multiple, dozens of files, like 50 files, 100 files. Like there's a project which has 600 files.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine building that 600 file with an engineer is like months of engineering, right? What we designed Greta to do for P0 was to make sure that we're able to reach to a point where all the simplest use cases are done and we are in initial stages of complex building. In the next few days, we are launching a new thing where you'll be able to handle a lot of this complex stuff very easily. And another thing that we're launching right after that is agent mode, which can handle up to like hundreds of files and much complex projects easily. And there are already a couple people that have signed up for agent mode, which enables all this complex building and stuff like that. So if you want to sign up for the beta, please let us know. But in the next few days, you will see all of that within Greta very easily being able to handle.
Hey, don't if people sign up and say they didn't learn about it on Jenny's Digital Growth Hacks Club, then don't grant it to them. They have to say, hey, I saw what you said on Jenny's Growth Hack, and I'm, because that's what we do. So my question then, which is going to be T. Nicole's question, because I know how she thinks, is okay, so is that going to cost me more? Or I'm trying to make it so I want to build these projects. Will I require more credit? Or I think you guys have a credit. I can buy, if I run out of credits, I can buy more credits during the month, right? So you're adding in the next couple of days. Is that going to require me? Is that an upgrade? Do I get that? Or if I'm on a tier, I think it's tier 3 or which tier is that? Your highest tier is 3 or 4? 4? Yeah, so in tier 4, am I going to be good, or do I have to go back? If I have a tier 3, I mean, if tier 4, I should be good, or how does that work?
So anything that comes in Greta, any feature, I have 20, 30 things planned for the next few weeks. Everything is going to be available for tier 4 for sure, right? And moving down as well, a lot of those features will also come down. The goal here is to enable people to be able to do stuff. So we don't want to just price gatekeep or something like that.
Yeah.
One thing that I would want is that we can work with you guys. The reason why we came to Appsumo was to have our initial family, right? Initial community that can work with us, that can help us. We will help them as much as possible. On July 4th, I literally took already 3 to 4 calls to help customers wherever they were stuck. So we are in it. We are fully in it to help as much as possible. So just work with us. Be a little patient. We are working really hard. And for agent mode or anything, you won't be able to upgrade, or like it'll just directly come tier 4 first. Once it is a little stable, maybe tier 3 after that. I don't know about others, but that's how it will keep.
But at least the highest tier. So if you're on the highest tier
100%.
out there, T. Nicole, she should have the highest tier, because I know the way she thinks. She's like, oh, she be wanting to build this complex stuff. So I know she at least should have the highest.
Yeah. No, 100% it will come. At the end of the day, depending upon in the future, right now, what we are doing is every project creation is 30 credits. Every edit or every fix is 10 credits, right? Once the agent mode and a lot of that thing goes live for bigger projects, let's say it's a 200 file project or 100 file project, right? What we need to see is how much optimization can we do, how much it is charging us. It can, for a lot bigger projects, maybe we can have a little bit of variance in credits, but it'll never go more than like 10, 20 credits at max.
All right. So me, I'm the finance guy, because that's kind of what I do. I don't want you to be giving away the farm, man, and then you're out of business. It's like, man, I had this great company, I could build whatever, and then they just kept giving away all the credits, right? And they're like, man, they're giving all these sumo links, just milk them for all the credits, versus thinking strategically, right? So let me give you an example. And this is how I would think and I would use it, right? So I have the highest tier, right? And so to me, I would say, okay, a lot of my prompting, I would probably get my prompting down probably in a less credit consumption way, and understand what it is that I want to create. And then I would move that over here, because if I'm getting ready to, I know I'm getting ready to launch my whole project, then I'm gonna have my prompt kind of down, right? I'll get some free credits over here, some free credits over here, but my prompting, I'm gonna have that down. Then when I get over to my Greta, I'm ready to dig in. here's where people don't, they just, oh, I'll just create this. Oh, I'll create a basketball. Oh, I'll create a baseball. Oh, I'll create a football. No, go into your project with that mindset that, hey, for this month, if I do consume all of the credits, I want to make darn well my project is together, or using that thought process. Don't go in there, oh, I want to create this, or I think I can create that. And you start milking up and messing up your credits. It's just, I just think like a business. Like I'm not gonna do that because I want all of my credits to count, right? And then now if I can start building out these complex things, then I have to do that. So I just kind of want people to just say, hey, you know what? Let me think logistically about this, right? Um, what's your thoughts on that?
I think you're absolutely right. With 50, with like 2 or 3 prompts, I have seen people create a lot of complex stuff as well,
Sure.
right? Because exactly what you said, that they thought of what could be the prompts. This would be the first, then I would ask this, so that the entire project is a little bit mapped out, rather than going directly to Greta and being like, hey, this is the URL of figma.com, copy it, right? Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that I 100% agree with. And with the same amount of credits, you can see that the right set of prompt and context setting can make humongous difference, even if it is a complex project.
So Tina Cook, because I told you once she gets started, man, she she like, hey, have you considered rollover or unused credits, and what's the pros and cons of that? And before you answer, I just want people to understand there are some businesses that want to be in business to take all your money. Then there's some businesses that if you win, we win. I'm getting that from Questera, Greta, that they want to have as many winners as they can out there. So before you answer that question, is if there's a way to do unused credits, or is there not cost inhibitive? Because this is an LTD, it's a lifetime deal. You know, to create these things and all those other things, there's a cost associated with that. My challenge is when people want all these new fancy toys and they're like, well, I don't want to pay for the new fancy toy. You're like, well, dude, in order for us to create it, can you throw us a bone? Can you throw us $20 a month? Can you throw us 50? No, I don't want to throw you anything. And that's just not unrealistic. Definitely for a lifetime deal. So that's my precursor to that question.
Yeah, no, really appreciate that, because I think that means a lot. First of all, we definitely do want everyone to succeed, and we want to work together. And that's why I'm not saying customers or users or anything. I always would like to call us as one family where we all grow together.
Right.
And in terms of credit rollover, I think we are still finalizing a couple details there, because honestly, as I mentioned towards the early on, that we did get a lot of demand on lifetime deal,
Okay.
right? Much more than we anticipated and stuff. So I think maybe I'll work with you to sit down on the finance side, but I can promise this, that whatever is the best for whatever best we can do, we will do. The goal is to try to have some uh, unused credits being rolled over as much as possible, things like that. But I think if you give us some more time, I don't have a concrete answer right now. We are too, but I will definitely get back on Discord or anywhere in like some time.
Now we have seen it. Now, what I have seen some founders do is, hey, listen, we give you 30 days or 60 days. We'll roll over 2 months, right? We're not going to keep rolling over. So you get in there, you got like a million credits, right? No, I mean, some people do that. It's like, wait, what were we thinking when we did that? It's like, no, because even the repository, even all of the, to store that up is like, okay, so, and then you just have a counter or whatever, right? So maybe if I use my Greta app to build something like that, no, I'm just kidding. All right. So, so no, I mean,
maybe you can use Greta to build Greta. That's what you said.
yeah, maybe we can do Greta. Hey, it's a project. We can get on here and do a hackathon and figure it out. No, so that's a good question, T. Nicole. She knows I love her. She's in my community. I give her a hard time, but that is a very good question. And if you at least say, hey, we'll at least look at it, right? I think there's other fires you're trying to put out. I know you're trying to put out this whole new version, this new piece, but it's like, hey, listen, we'll look at it. And that's very valid, because even if my thing is, I think with some people, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm about to tell on some people, right? I think some people come twofold, right? There's some people that'll come and try to abuse the system and be like, oh, let me build, this and that. And then they're like, hey, where's all the credits, right? And then there's genuine people that says, hey, you know what? Let me put one project together that I can scale, that if I scaling that one project and I'm making $2, $5, $6, $10,000 a month, I don't give a dang about credits. I don't care. I'm going to pay whatever credits I can to make sure that I keep Greta in business, because Greta is making it easy for me. If I'm paying Greta $100 a month, $200 a month for subscription, and I'm making 10 grand a month, what are we doing? Are you crying over credits, right? But I understand people. I feel them when they ask that question. It's a legitimate, genuine question. What I'm saying is, you can't trip over dollars to get the pennies. Don't do that. The big picture is, can I build with Greta? Do I want Greta to be around, right? Because if I'm building some nice things with Greta, say I get a contract from somebody, right? Or I got an accounting firm that comes to me, right? I have a master's in accounting. This is, hey, you understand prompts, you understand LMMs. Can you build us an agency? Can you build us an agent that helps us keep up with our receivables? I'd be like, hey, yeah, no problem, right? I'd build that for them, right? Using that and using my credits for that month. Then they come back and says, hey, can you build us a prompt? Can you build us an agent tool for our payables, right? The first one was for receivables. The next one was for payables. Hey, I got you. So from each one of those projects, I made 10 grand, I made 20 grand, right? Let's just use that example. I made 20 grand and I'm sitting here saying, hey, I need more credits for free. Come on, people, what are we doing? Are we really trying to win? And I want Greta to win too, because if I'm making money by making tools from Greta, then I want Greta to remain in business. I'm not trying to choke them out on credits. And that's my soapbox about credit, because I just want people to think about the vision and what we want them to do.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I think 100% we will figure it out together. I think we just, at the end of the day, our goal is to, and I'm a very honest guy, straightforward, honest person. So as I said, like, if I don't know something, I just say I don't know. Right? If I know, I just tell you guys that this is how it is. And I would be more than happy if Jenny and all the other people are churning 10K every now and then, every month. I will jump, I'll skydive from the roof.
We're not going to get into the skydiving again, right? We're not going to get into the skydiving.
Yeah,
all right,
I'll be so happy. Yeah.
So let me answer a couple of these questions, right? Because I think people are going to start attacking me, and then I may have to put them in timeout, because that's what I do, because it's my channel and that's the way it is. So, so these are good questions. So Big Kev asked a question, and let me cover C-Store's question first. So his question is, I think credits only come up because things aren't always working right now. When you, and to that, you say what?
So one of the things is that if you have complex, bigger project, more than 1,500 files, then in the next few days, we are launching those optimizations. Congrats that you reached there. In the next few days, you'll see more. You have the lifetime deal, trust with us, work with us. If it is failing for some reason, which you think that it is not correct and my project is not big or something of that sort, I am here. I would be more than happy to jump on a call Monday, Sunday, whenever you want to be able to make sure that it's usually, the problem is usually we are prompting wrong. We are asking too much. We are asking like 10 different things at once. So AI does not understand. Or the second usual thing is usually that the project has gone too big for right now to AI to be able to understand properly what needs to be done. These are the only two issues in 99% of the cases that we are seeing right now. So If there's anything else, or if you need any help, or if you're stuck, I'm always here. And we have refunded a lot of credits as well to some of the people where it was our mistake, or let's say it was something that it was not good.
So Big Kev's World from the UK, right? Guy sounds like James Bond. Uh, can I work on other code in my GitHub account that hasn't been created by Greta? I don't know if I understand him correctly. I think we had a discussion on that. He says, if I've already created it in Greta, can I pull it down if I've already created it in GitHub, can I pull it down and work in it in Greta? I think that's what he's asking. Let me know, Kev, if that's what you're asking.
So yeah, I think what he's trying to say is, like, if he already has a project, can you import through GitHub?
Right.
So Greta, to show you a preview, to optimize the prompts, it follows a directory structure. It follows, these are all the best practices that we have combined, couple hundred best practices, which Greta is trained on. So what it tries to do is, it tries to, if you import a project, and I have done this a lot of times as well, import a project, and I try to ask Greta that, hey, can you organize the structure to make it better, or something like that, and it just is able to do that. In most cases, just that should be enough, depending upon how complex your project is. If you're importing $1,000 1,000 file project, I don't think it will work right now. Next few weeks, couple of weeks, yes, not right now. And that's one thing that why we have import button there. If you're facing challenges, 100% hit me up.
So let me ask you this, right? You always say this, so I don't know if this is the default answer. You always say, hey, give us a couple of weeks. Are we looking at weeks, or are we looking at months, or are you just telling us to appease us that? I mean, do you have, so how many programmers do you have on staff? I mean, when we look at so you says, oh, give us a couple of weeks. Because I have a lot of founders come in here and say, hey, give us a couple of weeks. Next thing you know, give us a couple of quarters. Next thing you know, give us a couple of years, right? So is it genuinely give us a couple of weeks, or we have a list of things we're working on? That is one of them we've identified. So it's already on our board. It's already in our sprint. So we're going to be addressing that maybe, in sprint 300 or sprint 200 or whatever.
So great question.
Sure.
Right. So I think the default answer might sound like I'm saying weeks or months and stuff like that, but I think 90% of the problems they revolve around being able to handle bigger code bases, right? And that is the highest priority for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give you a date. We have set a date, which is few weeks, days down the line, right? But I don't want to say the date publicly right now.
Don't say the date publicly, because then trust me, people will call you on it. No, you said on Jenny's show, and you're like, dude, stuff happens, man. I mean,
yeah, because what happened was that we are already running behind a little bit, right? Because there are so many user requests that come in, and I'm amazed by that people are able to create a lot of good stuff. So we want to make sure that we're able to help them as well. But increasing the number of files, top priority. Agent mode, to be able to work with. So there are two levels there. One is like being able to handle more files, and the other one is agent mode, which handles even more files. So both of them you'll see, like the first one you'll see the next few days, and the next one you'll see in the next few weeks, not even few.
Okay. Another question from Big Kevs. How many languages does Greta program in?
So honestly, and I hope you're not talking about English and Spanish, right?
So yeah, tell us what you're talking. Are you talking about programming languages?
I think he is.
I think he is. I don't think he's talking about but maybe that's a question too. So
yeah, I can answer both real quick. So in programming languages, the Greta right now excels at web apps, React, JS specific. In future, we are adding Next.js, React Native, Flutter. All of these are active in development. And And then the other question you can, like, people have been talking in Chinese, Japanese, Spanish. And like when they send me the customer request, I am genuinely copy pasting stuff into Google Translate to see what have they said. And then I'm
Hey
like,
man,
oh,
got to take
okay.
care of the people, man. That's what it,
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to get something corrected to what I said earlier because I don't want T Nicole to be looking for me. I go outside to check my mailbox and I see her out there, right? I don't want her. She's like, hey, not everyone at that level can scale. I think at starting out. And what I was saying is that's one of the practices you can do is for less expensive and or free chat, get your prompting down for something that doesn't consume the credits like a big project planner like this. That's what I was saying. So when she says, hey, some of us are just starting out is going and using a free version of ChatGPT or a free version of this and free version of that and getting the prompting nailed till you think it's satisfactory enough, then going and then dropping it into Greta. So I didn't want to offend her because she's like, Jenny, not everyone's like you. Everyone can't scale or whatever. I think differently, right? I mean, I was in the military, I did logistics, right? So I needed to know if something was going to be somewhere at 3 a.m., 3 months from now. I had to plan logistically every single step. So when I'm putting my tools together, I'm actually looking at that. So that's how I'm able to come up with my hack packs. I'm like, man, I have a tool here, then I have a tool there. If I mix those two together, that makes a super tool that allows me to charge a premium now. Because I can charge $5 here and I can charge
Yeah.
$10 here, but I can
Yeah.
charge $20 or $30 when I put them together and I put a value add around it. I just think a little bit differently, right? And then it's not a knock on her. And when I think of scale, right? And when I say scale, I'm talking about I create a project and I market it and it picks up steam. And I would rather my project go viral than a video go viral. Because if I had a video that goes viral on YouTube, it goes viral on YouTube, I make $100, right? I'm telling you, a lot of people say, oh, you can go on YouTube. Listen, YouTube pay you 0.0003. Every
Right.
a down if I created if I was a music artist, I would get from um what's the radio? I mean, now what's the app that plays the streams? What's the big one? It's green.
Spotify?
Spotify. So I get on Spotify, I create a record, create a record on Spotify, I get 0.0003 cents. So I don't even get a full cent. I get I get a third of a cent. This is what people are not understanding. But if I create an app that that goes viral,
Why
right? Or picks up and everybody's like, hey, we need to use it, whatever. Now I'm making 50, 100, $200 per sale that. So when I say scale, that's what I'm talking about, right? You could put one app together or you could put one project together that can change your life, not
Yeah.
one video, right? And so what I'm sharing with her and anybody else is out here listening, you have to think differently. And moving forward, right? As we kind of wrap up, moving forward, you have to think when I say scale, you have to think as though you're going to be one to many when you sell. You're going to be selling to businesses that don't have time to hire staff to do it and they want somebody to come in and do projects for you. I just kind of think that's where we're headed. Did you want to add anything to that? Thanks. Yeah, Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would just add one more thing. So first of all, T. Nicole, you're starting out. Welcome to the club. This is amazing that you're starting up right now. Um, the goal for us as well as a company is to make it easier and easier. We'll have more features that we have in roadmap discussion mode, and a lot of those where you just discuss with Greta that, hey, I want to create this. Ask me questions, but help me create a prompt. Right? Things like that will come up as well. But in the meantime, I think what you can do, as Jenny was saying, maybe go to ChatGPT or his course and just be like, okay, this is what I want to be able to do. Our goal is to be better and better at prompting because it gives better results,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And from our side, as a company, as a team who is working on this, we will try to make it easier and easier day over day, so that a lot of these things happen behind the scenes. But it is still always good to know what's happening behind the scenes. So keep learning. That is going to be super helpful, in my opinion. And clap again that you are joining in early and making sure that you're able to make the $10,000 a month.
Yeah. So no, so T Nicole, I did. So that makes sense. So when I'm thinking of it like that, I'm thinking you're like, hey, there's others that want to, or there's others that she's serving in her communities, then so you're right. So I'm wrong. I'm not always right, but that makes sense. You're like, hey, if I wanted to do that, or if I wanted to teach somebody else how to do it. So you're right, T Nicole. You're right. You're right. You're right. Want to thank Greg for becoming a member of the channel, right? So C Story, yeah, thank you for that for Spotify. Are there any other questions that you guys have? Are there any other questions? Maybe the rollover credits can have a 2 to 3 month window. Rude media. No, and I appreciate that. That's a good, and I think we
That's
brought
a good
that up, we
suggestion.
talked about it. It's a good. I think it's a good suggestion. I mean,
Yeah.
not being rolling over for days, and we all know, right? We know that. Here's what I will say, right? Some things I can speak on and understand more intelligently is this is going to make so much sense, and you're going to appreciate this. What started out as a nonprofit with ChatGPT, and then Lima. No, so you know where I'm headed with this. Right? It started as a nonprofit, and then Lima was like, "Oh, we're going to be open source." Now people are like, wait, hold on. We can make a lot more profit in this. So you might see some price adjustments. You might see some different things, right? Because they may have started out as a nonprofit. Now they'll be like, hey, now we're for profit. Anybody knows anything about for profit, you're for profit. We'll get to the people later. You know what I'm saying? So we're about these quarterly profits. So, but as we want to think or want to hope that the cost of producing credits, the cost of prompting and all that would go down as more entries and the competition comes in. Now that we may see a stabilization even in the pricing, because now that people are moving to a pricing model, then you have ChatGPT, they're trying to decouple themselves a little bit away from Microsoft, their initial investor, right? And so you got a lot of things kind of changing, right? And so I'm asking that you guys would be patient with Greta. I think they're on to something. I'm not a fanboy of you're no, I want to speak real facts, but I don't want us to kill the golden goose either. It's like, hey, you gotta give us more, you gotta give us more credits, you gotta give us more credits. I just think we need to be more strategic in our credit utilization. How does that sound?
I think
Does that sound very corporate? Does that sound corporate? I want us to be very. I want us
finance.
To be,
you're a finance guy. I can see it.
because I don't want to. What I'm noticing is, and I learned this even working with people with their retirement and stuff like that. We make a lot of little decisions that, had we made that decision, a year or two earlier, we would not be in a position that we're in, 5-10 years later, right? Prime example is some people will have their money in cash and they don't even know it's in cash. And then they come and see me. They're like, I'm going to retire next year. What do I need to do different? I'm like, how long have you had this money sitting in cash? I never wanted to open up my envelopes. So I never wanted to look at it. I'm like, dude, this is so for 20 years. So you've been sitting in cash for 20 years. And there's an account here that would have paid you on average 12% compounded. Now you got to work another 20 years, right? And so there's decisions. So I'm always a long-term thinker and stuff like that. So I'm going to learn my audience a little bit better, right? Some people tune into my live streams. There's people in my community know me. So they know what kind of questions and know how to ask the questions that I can give a founder. Some people just show up out of nowhere trolling. Oh yeah, so why don't they give us everything for free? It's like, what? That's not what we do. That's not what I do on my channel. So there's other channels that do that, but I don't do that. So you got any final words? You guys have any credits? I mean, I'm looking at credits. Let me answer this question here. Someone says, how many tokens is 1,000 credits? Can you
So it actually really depends.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So it really depends upon what your project is. So for example, for a lot of projects which are more than 50 files, 100 files, we actually it costs $1 sometimes, right? For one prompt. So 10 credits can also be equal to a dollar. So it really depends. And I think one of the things that we are thinking is to figure out if we can show that token amount as well. One of the reasons that we wanted to take that out was we don't want to stop you because a lot of tokens
Right.
are being used.
So it stifles
Right?
it stifles creativity when people say,
Exactly.
but I think that should be, and I like where you're going with that. I think that should be an option. And the reason why I say that is because I have seen some tools. I think we're onto something here, and I think we can all win from this, right? I have seen some tools as listen, for what you're asking, that prompt will require 300 credits. Or you want to proceed? The person's like, yeah, I want to proceed. But in the defense of what C-Store is saying is like, I don't want it to be broke if I proceed. Right. So that's fair because C-Store is like, listen, if I proceed and I get and I it's like I'm paying you $300 of my tokens. I want the results from that. Right. So it's
I think we'll
coin.
never
Yeah.
we'll always have that. And our goal is to just limit everything in 10 to 20 credits, right? Max.
Right.
The goal here is we want to be able to do a lot more optimizations. It create like you guys, for example, are creating big projects. It costs us like, let's say, $1 a prompt or something. It creates so much pressure on me and my team to be able to do the optimization, go hands down, and then that is a good problem to solve.
Okay.
And we, from the user point of view, we don't want you to think about tokens, because as soon as your project gets even a little bit bigger, if the pricing is through tokens or something else, as some of the competitors that we have, you can only do one or two prompts as the project goes big, right? And we don't want to hamper that creativity because we want you to make a scalable product. And if we are not able to help you do that, it's our failure. And I don't want to fail. And I don't want to fail my family that we are trying to build here. And that's why I've actually done more of a credit system than token system, which was much easier, much simpler, much more cost effective for us. But that hampers a lot of creativity that I've seen. And we'll try to add an option where we can see how much total tokens you have used and things like that. But that's actually much lower in the priority. Not gonna lie, there's much high priority stuff that we have to work on right now.
Okay. Yeah. No, C-Store. No, we weren't saying you're complaining. Nah, it was.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. That is what people are saying. So we got there. We're clear on that. No, it's
we know community love.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
You can ask me all the solid questions. I like straightforward. No need to sugarcoat to me. Whatever feedback, I'm all up. Just all here, right? I thank you so much for the love.
So, do you guys have any more questions out there? Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up here. Make sure if you pick up the tool, I do have a link here. If you want to pick up the tool, you can click there. It'll take you directly there to pick up the tool. I'm working on a detailed mega prompt to ask Greta to marry me. Oh, really? That's interesting. That I like to see. I wonder how your wife's gonna feel about that, because you shared how your wife rations you money to just pick these tools up. So by you dumping her for a tool, she's gonna like, man, I paid for a tool to have my husband dump me, right? C-Store.
I paid
We're
for my
all in
own
the community. Nah, we're all good. So you guys have any
one quick thing that I would like to call out is that if you want more credits, because of 4th of July, we were able to have extra one-time credits on 50% off, which you can see if you go into settings. I know it's a little bit hidden, but if you go into settings, if you go into plans and pricing, you'll be able to see that. That's 50% off till Sunday, I believe. I'll have to double. I think there's a timer there up top.
So if I go in there and buy those credits now, those don't expire?
They'll never expire.
They'll never expire?
I mean, unless you spend it, but they'll never expire. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, if I go and buy, well, not even just for the 50% off deal, but if I go in there and buy credits at any time, I'll always have them. Even so, my credit count may I think I get 3,000 credits a month. Though, let's say I use 2,500. Now, let's say I use 1,500 of those credits. Then next month I get my 3,000 back. If I already bought 1,000, those will still they'll still remain there.
Yes. So yes,
Okay.
100%. So these are two separate types of credits. Technically, one is like evergreen credits. Those one-time credits that you buy are like evergreen credits. They'll never expire.
Sure.
They will always be there. They will be used last. So let's say if you get your 3,000 credits, and once it's not that we'll use the one-time one first, the evergreen one first. We'll use these 3,000 first, and once you're over this, then the evergreen credits will be used, because we want to maximize the usage of your credits as well. It's not that. Yeah.
So it's an overflow. It's a backup. It's a backup overflow. So it's not it's the secondary. Now we had somebody just show up here. I don't know, man. People be showing up there. This is, hey, give us a sneak peek of your most upcoming feature. Hey, it's 4th of July, man. You got to give out some firecrackers. You got to give out some cherry bombs, right?
I'm not sure if I can share screen and stuff like that in here, but
you can share screen in here. So it's at the bottom.
No, actually, I only see mute, stop cam, and raise hand.
You don't see? Oh, you don't? Let me see. You don't see that? You're just saying that because it can share screen. Let me see. Let me stop sharing. Hold on. You see it now? The bottom?
Share. Oh, yes, screen. Okay.
So before I don't want you to reveal nothing you don't want to just say, hey, listen, this is what you can look forward to if you pick up tier 4 today using Jenny's code, and then I'm gonna let you share. Because you said it's kind of coming, and you don't have to share everything. Just say, hey, with this new feature here, you're going to be able to do this and do that. It's not here yet, but you can give us a little squeeze. We call that the Jenny juice. You going to give us a little Jenny juice today?
I can share real quick about the other things that Greta will be able to communicate with very easily, and Greta will be able to work on.
We're getting bonus here today. Thank you, T. Nicole, for your patience. You know I love you.
So,
I'm gonna visit you. I know where you live, T. Nicole. I've seen your IP address. Child, I don't know where you live. You like what? No, so thank you guys.
With one of the other launches that we are able to do, all these components.
Hold on. Let me add it. You ready for me to add it?
Yeah, please.
All right, so let's add it to the screen.
So with a lot of, the CRM is going to come in within the next few days as well. You can add all these components, even the chatbot, this one which we were talking about earlier, with its mobile app, everything is going to come in. Then there will be a bunch of other agents that we are launching. For example, if you go and see in Questera, you'll see like a lot of the agents that we have here, like Graph Intelligence and Email Lifecycle and Omnia.
Those are all coming to Greta?
They will be separate, but within Questera ecosystem, right? But through Greta, you'll be able to create a lot of that easily. From Greta, you'll be able to set up all these components, set up the analytics, set up email campaigns, everything all very easily and very quickly. And you can, let's say you just put in like your website that I want to create, let's say all my email campaigns for my Greta created website for all my users. And it's going to go in, try to analyze, I don't know how, like it'll take like a few seconds, but it'll start going in, it'll start generating email plans to send to your users. So this is the power of the email lifecycle marketing agent, right? So we have a lot of these kinds of agent, and give me a second, I'll put my laptop to charge.
Wow, so this is exciting. See there, T. Nicole, we're bringing you the secret juice. All right, so did you want to show us anything else? Because I have two more, two more questions, and then I'm gonna get you out of here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Greta.
Yes.
You guys should be excited for Greta.
So
you guys may have gotten a diamond in the rough here.
if you see here, yeah, and a lot of this.
Did you? I think you freeze. Did you freeze? Oh, I think I think he choked out his Wi-Fi. You still there? Yeah, I think he froze. Man, you guys see now the point I'm making, this is what I try to tell people, is like sometimes if you come and you get on a live and you're wanting to do something, do what else, then something happens really strange or weird. That sometimes that happens. So I don't know if he'll join back in. Let me see if I can remove him so he can. I don't think I can remove him because it says he's still here. I was going to give him an opportunity. Let me see. Hold on. Are you there? Yeah, it still shows him. It still shows him being connected. So I think it's kind of he may be stuck. I don't know. But that's so yeah, I wanted to get to your questions. Thomas was not able to. Can I have a custom domain for each website or app created with your software? I don't know if that's going to happen. I think he's going to come back, but I want to make sure you answer that question. He'll pop back in. So T Nicole, you good? Why are you expanding your screen? What that mean? Hey Mark, what's up, man? Yeah, he's back. Yeah. Are you good?
Sorry. Yes, I'm good. I think because my laptop battery was low and I shared the screen, I think.
Yeah. You know what happened is I seen your meter. You have a green meter that's showing your strength. Then it just went to red. I was like, "Uh-oh, something's happening." And then you just froze because
Yeah,
this
sorry about
software,
that, guys.
yeah, the software gives you the strength of your signal. It went from green to like red, and then you did this. I was like, "Oh, he choked it out here." So,
Yeah.
nah. So
But just to add to that, I think you guys saw a little bit of that stuff. But when I was talking about end to end, starting through very easily building stuff from Greta, adding all those components in, that's the power of what we want to enable with Greta.
I'm super excited about that. I have two more questions here, and we're gonna get out of here on this and go get some 4th of July festivities. My wife comes to me, she says, I want you on a diet. I'm like, on a diet on a 4th of July? She's like, okay, so we're going to a barbecue. Just don't eat that much. You're telling me we're going to a barbecue and you're telling me ahead of time not to eat much. Okay, because
Yeah,
she tries to put me on a diet like she can control me after 28 years. Well, she kind of
yeah. I mean, I think you can have a little bit 4th of July stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell her. I said, yeah, you tell. So using your software to create websites and apps, can I export the code from Greta and integrate code into other software websites or apps? I kind of think you can a little bit, but go ahead. I'll let you answer the way you guys design it, and I'll tell people what I did.
So it's literally a React code, basically, or HTML or anything that you want to create. So you can, like, it really depends upon what is this other software and website,
Yeah.
right? If you want to put that into Figma, no. But if you want to put it in an iframe, put it into Webflow, a lot of customers, made the website, deployed it, put it into an iframe, put it into Webflow or Wix or whatever.
So that's the way I was using it. I've been able to drop it into an iframe or something like that. I think what you shared with me yesterday is I think you can share with the people here. Definitely T Nicole, because that was one of her questions. One of her questions was, can you create booklets, pamphlets, or PDFs? And I think what you shared with me was you can have the API of ChatGPT. You want to explain that scenario? Whereas the person says, hey, I want to create a PDF library or something like that, or PDF app that produces libraries or something like that. You share with me because you have the open. So go ahead and share that. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we get that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I remember that. I think, see, at the end of the day, Greta's job is to generate code, create code, right? If you want to create images or PDFs and things like that, you have to use an external library, right? And give that API documentation or external library details to Greta that, hey, this is all the API details and API documentation, not the link, because Greta cannot read links right now. You have to put in, this is the API, this is my information, this is how it takes. And it will be able to go hit the API or the third-party library and give you the result. Basically, that's Greta's job, is to make sure that the code, the front end and the back end is there. If you want to use other libraries for it to be able to do more stuff, if you want a dog in the park tomorrow that, walk my dog, you can add a library that enables to hit that, okay, a person will come and take your dog, take it the walk, and then comes back and tells Greta that it is done. So you can add any sort of third-party library or API technically.
All right. So hopefully that answered the question there. Because I don't want to hold you up, and I think I'll answer this because someone asked me. So Larry basically said, "Hey Jenny, how difficult was it to deploy your calculator? What steps did you have to take beyond just creating it in Greta?" And I'll share this, and then we'll get out of here on this. And because I want you to know, right? I want you to know what went through the eyes of a person saying, "Hey, you know what? I opened up Greta, and I seen it for the first time. Greta gave me the biggest thing. It gave me the biggest smile. It says, hey, dude, what do you want to create?" And this is exactly what I did, right? This is exactly what I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I was like, what do I want to create? No, I'm taking because I want to explain to Larry how I did this, right? So when I went in there and I created it, right? And then I was like, how do I get this out? Right. And it says, so I have a GitHub account. So I connected it to the GitHub account. But I then went back into the chat of Greta. And I said, and I'm literally explaining to him because this is exactly what I did. I says, if I want to take this calculator and embed it on another site, I'm literally in the Greta, because I saw what GitHub does. I was like, okay, GitHub allows me to share between teams and all that, but I want to still be able to get that out. And Greta came back and says, hey, dude, if you want to get that out, there's a couple of different ways. You can do it like this. You can add it to, you can go get it, set up an account at, let me explain. Let me share with the account. That was Netlify. It says you can go to Netlify and you can do that. I says, I just want to embed it. It says, oh, I said, create for me the embed code for me to embed this. Literally, it gave me the embed code. I'm being honest. It gave me the embed code, and then I was able to embed it. I says, I want it to run on its own URL. So I'm gonna put the URL in the chat. So there's a lot of people say, how did you get your own URL? I went to Netlify. And you go into Netlify and you sign up for an account, which is super easy to do, but I'm going to give you guys a URL. And so I'm saying all this to say, it honestly really was not that difficult. It really was not that difficult. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna give you guys a secret, and don't tell anybody. And I mean, don't tell anyone as we wrap up here, right? And this is for Larry, this is for anybody else. Today, July 4th, 2025, if I am stuck on something, what am I doing, Shabam?
Just asking.
No, I just go to ChatGPT.
Just ask ChatGPT, just ask Greta, just ask anyone.
I'm no longer stuck anymore, right? I just ask and it says, oh, you're trying to do this. Then again, this is the stuff you're going to learn on the AI Juice Lab is explain it to me like I'm a fifth grader. I add that to a prompt. This is, listen, I need to embed this on another website. Explain to me like a seventh grader. That's my magic grade. Explain to me like a seventh grader. How do I embed this on another? And it says, I'm telling. So that's what I've been doing. So there's no secret, Larry. I'm being funny. The AI Juice Lab. You guys need to tune into that because I'm working on my 4th certification in AI. I'm gonna be dangerous. I'm gonna go down there and with Shabam. We're gonna create something and take over the world, and we'll be retired on a yacht somewhere, smoking cigars. I don't even smoke, and I've never been boating in my life. But when you start making money, you got to find new friends, right? So I'm trying to take my community with me. I want my entire community to go with me. I want to grow them. We grow together, and we all celebrate. I don't want to find new friends. Because now I got to smoke cigars. Now I got to go golf, and I got to wear funny pants. And I don't want to do that. I want to take my community with me. You guys have been great. Any last one? I'm gonna put you in a single shot. Did you have anything? Come on.
You don't need to find rich people to be your friends. We already have great community and family and friends. You just have to make them rich. I'm always here if you want if you're stuck at anywhere. But I really am looking forward to all of you guys being the master of AI, taking the first step today. Try to build something. Try to surprise your loved ones that, hey, I built this for you, and get in the weeds and be excited. I felt the same thing when I was building a website when I was 10 years old. This is the same thing. You come in, you build something, you put it out, and feel that joy, and let's be rich, and let's go on that boat together.
I can't believe he took this whole boat thing serious.
No, I'm going on a boat.
Let's go on a boat. Let's go to Treasure Island. Okay, that's another video because we're out here in San Francisco. We know there's Treasure Island and all that other stuff. So, hey, listen, you guys have been great. Thank you guys for tuning in on the 4th of July, man. You guys have been awesome. Use the link in the description. If you want to pick it up, there's going to be a link in the description, and there's going to be a link inside the first comment of this video. Well, thank you for hanging out on a 4th of July. I really appreciate you. I'm excited for Greta. And you have a Discord, right?
Yes.
I've been looking for that. You need to email that to me. You email it to me. I don't know if people have been able to find it. Email it to me and I'll send it out to my community. And we'll make sure.
So if you go to Greta homepage, I think it should be in the top nav bar. I'll double check. It should be there.
Okay, so I'll go look for it there then. All right, cool.
I'll send it to you too. Yeah.
I appreciate it. So you guys can see my link there, the calculators.growthvisionmoney.com. I put that sub account there. I put that domain there. That's the full Greta app I have running on its own domain. And I did all of that through just asking Greta, what do I do here? Who am I supposed to connect with? And so Netlify that's one of the tools that you can use to do that with. I don't even know the cost of that. I think is it $4 a month or something real?
So for a lot of it, they have a very good free plan.
Yeah, they do have a really good free plan. Yeah.
Yeah, they have I use their free plan. I've been using their free plan forever, actually. Not gonna lie.
Do they know you've been using their free plan for? Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah. So now we partnered up with them, an exclusive partnership, to make sure that we can deploy thousands of Netlify, right?
Oh.
But they have an amazing free plan, right? In most cases, use that. Let's say once you have start getting 1,000 users, hundreds and thousands of users, and you've built like a lot of stuff, and you have to go to the next plan. The next plan is $20 a month.
Oh. All right. Let me. You can. Shabam, thank you so much. I wanted to show people what my Netlify looks like on the back end. And so we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the link, and because my audience, my community always want to know more. They want to see how I'm deploying stuff. So I want to show them. But you've been great, sir. I appreciate you so much. You guys hang out. I'm gonna show you what my Netlify looks like on the background. Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was really fun talking to you. Let's catch up for dinner in person. It's on me. No backouts, nothing. Let's go grab dinner. And if any one of the people in the community are here in SF, would love to grab coffee as well. I know a really cool place, and I'm sure that you'll love that coffee. Just hit me up.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna hang out there. Seriously, I'm gonna be down there. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, so let me show you guys my Netlify. Let me see who's still here. Is anybody still here? Do you guys want to see that? I don't even know if you guys want to see it. Who's still here? Oh, I still got a couple of people. Do you guys want to see my Netlify and kind of want to see what I did? I gotta go before my wife comes here and starts yelling at me. She does that occasionally. She's like, "Hey, you said you're only going live for an hour." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but here's what happened." Right. So let me uh all right, so let me see. What did I do? Did I log in with my GitHub? I think I did. Yeah, I did. All right. So let me show you guys. You guys still here? You guys still here? Yeah. All right. So here we go right here. So let me share with you. Um, so here it's called Netlify, and they do have a free program, right? They do have a free program. So in order to deploy your program, like so right here, let me just concentrate on it here. Yeah, so right here, so right here, you can see trying to get so right here, this is my calculator's got so what I did was just add a new project. But what I did was you have to get a GitHub, right? And GitHub is really GitHub 101, just so you understand what GitHub is. GitHub is a cloud where you store all of your code and if you're working on a team. So let's say I'm working on a team and T Nicole, she's on the East Coast, Mark's on the East Coast, and I'm here on the West Coast, and we all want to work on this project together. You would use GitHub to kind of keep up with uh, the I forget what that's called. Yeah, the series number. So it's a version number, or it does version control. So it's good to do version control. It's hey, she may work on one. I may want T Nicole to work on the front half. I'll work on the back half, and then we'll put them together. So GitHub is kind of cloud repository for you to kind of work on. Well, also GitHub allows you to do, it allows you to redeploy into other software applications that you may be able to use it with. So get a GitHub. GitHub is free. You don't. So GitHub is free and Netlify. Netlify. It's Netifl. Netlify. That's free. So they're both free, but there are ways you can take your code that you already have and start deploying it out into the atmosphere, right? And so with this particular one here is you have to come here. And so the way I created this is I went here and it says, hey, add new project, you know, deploy manually or something. And so what I did was I pulled it down from GitHub and it brought it into here. So the way this worked is I worked on it in Greta, took it up to the cloud in GitHub. Then I went here and pulled it down from GitHub, right? And then I went in and you can see here where you can set up your domains, you can set up your builds. So this is how you use this, right? So you have these two cloud places and you send your Greta up to GitHub, you pull it down from GitHub here into Netlify. And I promise you, Netlify to me is the easiest. It's easier than GitHub. GitHub is just a place where your stuff kind of sits. But here's this, hey, customize your project, make it your own. And this is how I got calculators.growth. This is how I got this project. So I created this project over in I created it over in Greta, pushed it up to GitHub, and then pulled it down. If you guys got any, always providing value, sure. All right. So does that make sense? Let me show you my Greta. So what happened in Greta, right? Where's it at? That's not what I had. App at Greta. No, what is my Greta? What is my Greta? Hold on. My wife's gonna kill me. Oh, Greta. Greta. All right, here it is. Where we at? Let me log in. Is this what I use? I don't even know what I use. Am I in? Yeah. All right. So here's what happens, right? So when I first loaded up Greta, can you guys see this? Am I sharing this? Yeah. So when I first loaded up Greta, right? Yeah. So if you make an update to your app in Greta, will it automatically reflect on your website? You have to push your updates. So again, you have to start thinking like a app developer, right? So it's not more of a it's a good question, Larry. So it's not more of a refresher screen. It's more of I made these changes in the code. I now need to push my new changes. So if you push your new changes, you're going to push it up to Greta, and then on the Netlify side, you're going to pull down the new changes. So that's how that works. So if you make any updates, you got to push your updates up. So um yeah, and here's the thing, Larry, and that's a good question. Um, I would use Greta actually initially before I start building on a large project. I would play around and understand it more because the Greta chat will actually tell you a lot of the questions that you're asking. The Greta chat will tell you exactly line by line how to do it. Right. I don't want to hear, I don't want to be here to try to flex and let everybody, oh no, I got my own app on my own. I asked Greta, hey, am I supposed to do this or am I supposed to do that? And it says, oh yeah, just need to do this. I kid you not. So I'm not trying to say I reinvented the wheel. This is just, I just kind of use Greta. So when I showed up here, it says, hey, what do you want to build, Jenny? And I said, hey, I want to build a calculator. So this is older. This is my calculator. I want to show you the prompt that I used to build it. This is my prompt. I kid you not. I said, hey, I would like to build a basic savings calculator and get a get out of debt calculator and a retirement calculator that has future value calculations. It came back and says, okay, I'll create a comprehensive financial calculator suite with 3 calculators: savings, debt payoff, retirement planning with future value calculations. This will feature a modern premium design and smooth animations and response layout. Let's get it going. And it started kicking out all this stuff on its own. Boom, done. It maximum took 60 seconds to create this. Maximum. So then, what did I say? So then what I said, this is my, so I'm giving you what I did, right? So I'm telling you exactly what I did. I says, hey, how can I deploy this retirement calculator as an embed? Please provide the code to embed on another website. I literally just asked the chat. And I was like, oh, okay, you want the embeddable code, right? It says, hey, I'll help you create an embeddable version of a retirement calculator that can easily be integrated into other websites. Boom, 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 boom. It just started creating it. This is crazy. This is exactly what I did. It says, hey, I've created it for you. These are the ways you can install it. This is the easiest: auto initialization, manual initialization, HTML, iframe embed. It gave me all of these, right? I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Then I said, what else did I say? I think that was all I did. And then I think I asked the help over here to help me with something else to get it into Netlify. Hopefully that helped. That, I mean, it's literally that easy to do, literally. And so now what you have now is you now can add your other tools and the other services that you've been providing for people. You now can start deploying your own. This is where we're headed, people. I promise you. I'm looking at the tea leaves. Where we're headed is we now will have a bunch of independent contractors, right? It used to be where you can go out and say, oh, I'll just, to raise a few dollars, I'll go and drive Uber. Now AI is taking those jobs. Now the taxis, the robo taxis and all that. It's really becoming down to the survival of the fittest. And I think you being able to get on board and be an early adopter of like a Greta or something like that, you're going to have so much more power over other people before they catch it, before it's too late, right? Other people, you don't want to be scrambling. You want to be ahead of the game. And this, I think getting into a Greta, understanding the code, what is it doing, right? Why do I need GitHub, right? What I did, GitHub, I went on YouTube and asked YouTube, hey, what is GitHub? Video comes up. This is the basics of GitHub. This is what it is, right? I'm not a programmer, right? I know IT. I can understand language. I know large systems. I know how to do, networks and network. I can understand that, but I'm not a coder, right? But I understand the IT infrastructure. I have a master's. I didn't get into the basics. I understand how to put complex systems together, but the coding, I don't. So to be more versed in deploying these types of tools, I'm learning like everybody else. I'm getting into my chat. Chat is telling me everything that I need to know. So hopefully does that help you guys? How can we access this video after the show? So this video is here. I mean, this video is this is one of my live streams. You'll see it on there. Shivet, you'll be able to see it on there. So yeah, this video is open for everybody to take a look at it. So hopefully that answered your question. Did that answer your question there, Larry? Because I know you asked. Did that answer the question? Yeah, you can make an update to Greta. All right, so cool. All right, so hopefully you guys are good. Any last minute questions before I get out of here? Before I head out and go to my barbecues and eat the potato salad with the raisins in it? That's a joke, right? That's a joke. We don't eat potato salad with raisins in it. We don't, right? So, you guys have any other questions? Everybody's good? Larry, so that helped you? All right, so cool. So, yeah, so my recommendation, right? My recommendation on this particular tool is to get a tier 4. My recommendation is to get a tier 4. When I talked to him privately, he's like, hey, we're going to bring a lot of changes. We know for a fact tier 4 is going to get them. Some of the other tiers, we don't know, we're not sure of, but if people are fully invested in us, we're going to make sure that people get those tools. I'm just telling you right now, so you can't say, school me. You can't show up now saying you're confused. Got to watch the video all over. I'm confused now. What are you confused about? What are you confused about? Tell me what you're confused about, so I can get out. I don't know what are you confused about. What are you confused about? Yeah. Hey, no problem, Larry. Cool. All right. How can I ask a video? I already told you this video will be available. And so my live stream, just library, just go there, pick it up. Take a few more questions, then we got to get out of here. I'm already 30 minutes over. My wife's gonna kill me. So yeah, go back and watch the video because I just kind of went through or met with the founder. Then I kind of showed you guys how I kind of deployed my Greta app. The raisins. Yeah, man. Don't worry about it. Don't be confused about the raisins and potato salad. That's a joke. That's a joke. All right. Say, hey, you guys have been good. No other questions. I kind of looked at the tea leaves. I don't think this Monday Madness will be as good. About 2 weeks from now, you'll see a couple of more tools show up. That should be nice. But I do have, before we leave, I am going to be showing people, and I'll put this up there. So if you're part of Hack Pack 4, you're going to be good to go. You're part of my full stack community. You're part of my Hack Pack TV. I am putting up the I'm putting up the thief pack, right? I'm putting up the Anthony thief pack because I found another hack that I think a lot of people are overlooking, but I stole a portion of what Anthony shared with me and I put it in with something else. And I said, I'll call it the thief pack because I borrowed it from Anthony. I borrowed the concept. I was like, oh, if I do that, I was like, man. So I put that with another piece of software. And it's the thief pack. So I have that coming up here soon, probably later today or maybe tomorrow. You guys are gonna really get a kick out of that. All right, where's the extra juice? I gave you the extra juice. What are you talking about? Is Greta just making landing pages? Nah, man. Why don't you guys answer that for her, right? Is Greta just making landing pages? Can you guys answer that? Larry, can you answer that? Anthony, who else is here? C Store. Can you guys answer that? Thanks, Jenny, for the info here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. When providing your software a prompt to create a website or app, does it create the logo also based on the description of no, I don't think so. I think the logo and all that, those are, you can create that. You can create the logo in ChatGPT or somewhere else, but it doesn't give you all of that. It doesn't. Jenny, I'm snitching. I'm the only one that like that, like the live. What do you, Jenny? I'm snitching. No, I'm the only one that liked the live. Are you the only one that liked? No one else liked my live. I know. Actually, if you refresh, it'll give you the new likes. You guys showed up here. You guys been all night. You all day. You guys giving the like button. Yeah, man, snitch on them, Larry. And sometimes it does look like that, but when you refresh, when I'm done, it'll say 5 likes, even though I have 50 people on here. Right? They don't be giving me no love. That's cool though. I appreciate you, Larry. Larry, tell on y'all. He said, "Hey man, y'all didn't like Jenny's stuff, man. Y'all got to like, give me the thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything, right?" Hey, you guys have been great. No, thank you. All right, thank you, Anthony. Thank you guys. My community showed up for me. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah. So other than that, you guys have been great. You guys take care. It's so funny, man. He's like, "Hey, all right, see you guys later. Next time. Bye for now."